Yes, madam.
Okay. Shall we start our function?
Yes, yes, madam.
Okay. Karishma madam? Hello? Hello, Karishma madam? Okay. So, good morning, dear all. Department of Information Technology and Computer in association with CSI is organized a webinar on how to write and publish paper. So during the project development phase, student can publish paper on their work so that this will be recognized by worldwide. Publishing paper will add a value to your work. So in this regard, today's session on writing and publishing paper will be very useful and essential to you all. So we are fortunate enough to have a great personality, Dr. Neeta Deshpande ma'am, with us. She has total she has total 20 years experience in this field. Okay, she has done her PhD in watermarking of digital data. She has great number of publishing, out of which 32 in international journal paper and 10 paper in international conference and 9 paper in national conference. In addition to this, she has also published copyright for online feedback system. She has delivered many expert talk on different subjects. She has She has awarded Lady Engineer by IEI. She is a member of many different professional bodies. She has published many books on different subjects like a data structure, AI, distributed system, etc. So without wasting too much time, I request to Nita Deshpande ma'am to share her views. So one more, dear student, one more notice for you. Attendance and feedback link will be available in chat box. Kindly check it and fill accordingly. Okay. So now I am going to hand over session to Dr. Neeta Deshpande ma'am for next session. So, ma'am,
Yes, thank you, Madhuri ma'am, for the wonderful introduction. Thanks a lot, and thanks for giving me an opportunity to come and address your college students. So I'm
welcome,
just
ma'am.
sharing my screen.
Okay,
Please
ma'am.
let me know
Stop. Just a minute, ma'am.
when the screen is visible.
Okay. Okay.
Is the
Yes,
screen visible, ma'am?
yes, ma'am. Your screen is visible now.
Yes. So, start, ma'am?
Yes, ma'am. You can start.
Yes, full screen is available, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. So the topic that is told to me to address for SNJB third year and final year engineering students of computer and IT. So I have just made a precise presentation only for third year and final year computer engineering students. I have made the slides here in such a way for an average student to go and give about go and write a paper and do a publication in a particular conference or in a journal. We'll be having students who are, very bright and who are doing the publications and all right from first year onwards. We do have students who do copyrights and who do patents from first year and second year onwards. But then still, it's for a normal third year and final year engineering students. And what I will focus on is you can, whatever work you're doing for your seminars or whatever work you're doing for your projects, you can convert it into your paper, either a conference paper or a journal paper. You can also convert it to copyrights or patents, but that is not in the scope of this webinar. It is only related to publications. Moreover, I will not tell you, take this and keep on writing the paper. What are the major perspectives for writing the paper are more important, and that I will be giving, the major description on paper writing, execution, and the entire planning. How do you select a conference? How do you select a journal? How do you write a paper in the journal? And all those things will be elaborated in coming 1 hour. So this would be the agenda for my paper. The agenda goes like this. Whenever you're writing a paper, I told in the first, when I was showing the first slide, I told you that this would be a focus for your TE seminars and your BE projects. So you can write a paper based on your TE seminar topic and based on your BE project topic. So in this agenda, I'll be telling you that the major important focus will be on the selection of the topic, then how you write a paper, then how you select a conference. Obviously, there will be certain templates which are readily available for the conferences, and how can you submit your paper to a particular conference. So also goes on for the journal as well. So normally, I would suggest that whatever is your seminar paper, try to submit it to a conference, and whatever is your project paper, try to submit it to a journal. So when you're doing your engineering, minimum 3 papers should come out. One paper must be from your seminar, other 2 papers must be from your project. Okay, so we'll be splitting up our project topic also, and I will tell you how can you go in with the finalization of your topic. So the first important part is the selection of the topic. How are you going to select a particular topic? For selection of a topic, what we are going to do is we will be selecting the area or the domain where we are interested. Now, when we say a computer engineering a computer engineer, he may be studying n number of subjects. Hai na? We study data mining, cryptography, AI, robotics, automation, image processing, and so many subjects we study. So when you were studying the subject, some of the what you say, some of the subject may sound little interesting to you. So just select that subject on a broader category. Okay, so let's say you have selected data mining, for example. Now you start searching on, of course, on Google. Now you start scanning the area more deeper. You scan the area, whatever is the domain that you have selected, let's say data mining, you go on still deeper. Now, when you're going still deeper, you will find n number of applications related to data mining, maybe financial data analysis, maybe retail industry, maybe biological data analysis, and so many things, intrusion detection, and many more. So what you do is, you select that area. Let's say if it is AI, you select machine learning or deep learning. Now, there are 2 important points which you must be very clear with. You have to search 2 major things in the paper. First is you have to search the research component in the paper. Now, how is that research component found out? How is that research component to be found out? That I'll tell you later when we'll take an example of a paper. And second important thing is we need to know how are industries using or working in this particular area. So if you want to go and develop a project or a product in this particular area, then we need to see where the placements are available in this area, what are the areas in which a particular software industry is working, and what is the further scope in which we can go ahead. So we start searching a paper for the respective topic. Now, how are we going to search the paper for the topic? Okay. First thing, when we are starting searching, Google is a very wide world. So what happens is you give a random search and you get thousands of pages coming in. So your search should be restricted, and you search for the papers for last 5 years. Actually, practically speaking, papers should be selected only for last 2 years. But somewhere, it happens that maybe a topic of interest is not available in the last 2 years papers. So for example, right now it is 2021. So I'll be selecting a paper of either 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. But my major focus will be on the years 19 and 20. So most of the papers must be from 19 and 20 that I am selecting. So Now after this, I'll be showing you some 4-5 slides in which links are available. So I'll be also sharing my presentation with Madhuri ma'am so that she can give you all the links that are available in my presentation. So first is your IEEE site. You must have heard from your seniors or your teachers that IEEE transaction ka paper chahiye hame. That is what normally it is being told. So there is a website IEEE.org. You go on the website and you can search the papers for IEEE for related to IEEE. The major concern here is what IEEE is a paid thing. So normally colleges where there is a research center, they give they take subscription for IEEE transactions or ACM transaction. So if that subscription is available in the library, well and good. If that subscription is not available, then you may get some of the major IEEE papers on the website Sightseer X. So you can check the papers on Sightseer X. Sightseer X is a free site which you can log in and you can just search the papers in the area that you wish. So second site which is available is Springer paper. So you must have seen that whenever I want to do my publication, the faculty keeps on saying, no, I want to do my publications in Springer, and Springer is a very renowned publication and we get quality publications in Springer. So when you're searching the paper, obviously you'll be searching for Springer paper as well. So when Springer paper, the website is www.springer.com, and if you want some Indian papers, you can give the thing as /in. So the link are available. Again, I tell you, Springer may be a subscribed version. If your college is not giving a subscribed version of Springer, better you go into Google Scholar and search the papers that you require. Again, Google Scholar, all of us know that it is a free version and we can get the papers on Google Scholar. Similar is the case with elsewhere. Now, if I put my observation into words, I will say from instead of IEEE and instead of Springer, elsewhere paper is a bit easy to understand. That is, of course, my own opinion. Opinions may change. So elsewhere, I feel the papers are a bit easier and given in depth to understand. And normally an elsewhere good paper will be around, 20 pages big. So usme all the details are given in it. So better you search for an elsewhere paper and then you can go ahead reading with that paper. Again, elsewhere is a subscription. So if college subscription is not available, you can go on SciHub and you can search for the required paper. The fourth site which is available is your ACM. Again, if the college does not have a subscription of ACM, you can go on ResearchGate, have your own login in ResearchGate and start searching publications on ResearchGate. Then I've just given you one example. For example, if my research area is image processing, what happens is I have so many areas of image processing available. Automatic detection, classification is one area, identification is one area, automatic image enhancement is another area, image segmentation, and so many areas are available. Okay. Now what I did here is I put a red on content-based image retrieval. So let's say I want to select the area as CBIR. What I will again search is I will search the application areas in image processing. I told you in the beginning that whichever is our area, we have to go on searching our area in two domains. One is the research domain and other is the application domain. So I will also search the application areas in image processing, which are maybe computer vision, face detection, and so on. So I give into Google and I get this particular thing. Isme se mujhe kya acha laga? I got something, I know little bit of CBIR, let's say, for example. So I select CBIR as my topic. Then I go into Google and I search CBIR recent papers. So I get n number of articles available in CBIR. So this is very random search. Now I don't know out of this available search which papers I must select. So as I told you, it's better we select the papers which are of recent 2 years. So maybe the papers of 1920 I will search. Agar mujhe yahan 1920 nahi mila, so what I'll do is I'll go on searching the papers for 1718, let's say. And then I go ahead. So these are the papers that are available. So I found the first paper, CBIR, content-based image retrieval. It's an IEEE paper. So obviously it's a good paper and it's of 2018. So I went into details of this paper and I just found out on one side that CBIR paper was available. The abstract is given to here, and in this abstract it is written that CBIR is the task of retrieving the images from large collection of database on the large collection of databases. Then I open this paper, and when I open this paper, I'll have n number of techniques. If you see here, there is a word which is called as efficient feature extraction. So there are n ways of feature extraction, and then it becomes, feature extraction kaise karte hain. Then you will have an idea ki, okay, not only using CBIR, I can have n number of methods by which I can do the feature extraction. So this becomes one research component that comes into your paper, that feature extraction is being done and how can you do better and better feature extraction. So this becomes an idea for research. I would also suggest you to all the students, mostly all of you're in third year, right? So most of the students will be on GitHub, है ना? तो आप लोग GitHub पे already हो, so you just go on GitHub and you check whether the contents related to CBIR are available or not. Just because I have given here the topic as CBIR, it will be the topic of your interest. So you go on GitHub and you will get certain project ideas where CBIR is being implemented. So I just gave a search on GitHub and I found that this particular project on CBIR is going on. And when I say GitHub, the authors also put in some codes that are available for us for testing and going further. So now I have checked two areas for the project. I have checked the research component of the project, and I have also checked the application component for the project. So now let's say this topic becomes my topic of that I have to go in and do the finalization of the paper. So this is my topic. What I will do is, now I must select at least 10 papers, at least 10 papers of the topic that I have selected. Normally researchers or the scholars, they select 100 papers or so. So what you will do is you download those papers, you will read the abstract, introduction and the conclusion part of the paper. Research papers are to a very high level. So if you start reading the paper at the very first moment, it is very, very difficult to understand the paper. So you won't be able to understand the paper at the first instant. Even researchers take months together to understand the entire paper. So pehle aap kya karoge? You read the abstract, you read the introduction part, and you read the conclusion. In the introduction part only, you will have certain references available. So maybe वो references को भी आप click करो, थोड़ा आपको topic समझ में ज़्यादा अच्छे से आने के लिए. Okay. So you'll be reading the abstract, you'll be reading the introduction, and you'll be reading the conclusion. Now what you do is you take out all the understandings of the paper and write it down in your own words. One paragraph for every paper. You do this for minimum 10-15 papers. The more you do, the more idea would be clearer to you what exactly is to be done. This will give you a clear picture of the topic, and now you know what are the recent research works going in the topic and what are the application areas of the topic. And then you freeze down your own. So for every, I'm so sorry, I think the screen was locked for a moment. So from the paper, what you're going to do is, from every paper, you will be noting down the conclusions. What are the conclusions of the paper? You will be noting down all the research findings of the papers. One important thing that you're going to find out is you're going to find out the weaker areas. Where you'll find out these weaker areas is whenever you read your conclusions, every paper in the conclusion, it has a future scope. Or every paper will say that this particular project that we have developed is not working for these particular conditions. Obviously, when we are doing some development or when we are doing a software or when we are designing, there are some constraints of the software that we are designing, right? Some constraints of the algorithm. Those constraints are the weaker areas. So if we pick up those constraints, or if we pick up the future scope, that can become your own project that you're working. That can become your own research finding, and that can become your own paper, which will come ahead. So then now you start implementing your own, depending on the findings of the paper. So you'll read 10 papers, you'll find out conclusions, you'll find out research findings, you'll find out the weaker areas, you'll find out the future scope, and you'll implement your own. I will also suggest you that please go to GitHub. It's an open source available to you. You can host and review codes here. You can manage projects here. You can see what the people are doing. So please go to GitHub, check the details on your topic. Go to HackerRank, check the details on your topic, and then you will be actually ready and available with the thing that you have to do. So entire codes that are available on the GitHub will give you a base for going ahead with your own topics. ठीक है, इतना मुझे already available है GitHub में, it's running fine. So now I have to do this much addition to make my entire project. So whatever modules and whatever programs are available, if those are fitting in your project, you can just take them and integrate them all together to find your own project or the new thing that you're going to develop. So for development part, ensure that you are going into the global community and checking out whatever is available. So now comes your major part. How are we going to write the paper? I have not purposely included your implementation, because if implementation of the paper, how it is to be done, it will be a completely different webinar. And since the time is only of 1 hour and we have to be very specific on paper writing itself, so selection of the paper and then implementing and paper writing was important. So I gave a major focus on the selection, and now I'm giving a focus on paper writing. So whenever you're writing a paper, you need to organize the paper in a proper fashion. Normally, the organization of the paper is in this way. Initially, it starts with the title, that is whatever title you are selecting. It's always good that you select your title very precisely and very concisely. So it should be meaningful. Whatever you are implementing, that should come in your title itself. Then second important thing is your authors and affiliation. So normally your authors and co-authors play a major role. So if the researchers themselves are your co-authors, obviously your paper will have a little more weightage. Second point after the title is your abstract. So normally an abstract is written in 200 to 300 words. Every journal and every conference will have their own bindings on the number of words that are to be used in the abstract. After the abstract, immediately follows is keywords. What you're going to do in keywords is, since if your paper is in CBIR or if your paper is in data mining, you just put on keywords here. And whenever Google is doing the search, these keywords are normally highlighted and your paper is available to all the people who are searching with these major keywords. So every paper will be having certain keywords. So think on these keywords and put it below the abstract. The third part that you're going to do is you're going to put up the introduction. Next, you're going to put up the literature review. I'll give you in detail what comes in introduction, what comes in literature review. I'm just in this particular diagram, I've just given you the headlines, that it will be title, authors and affiliation, then it will be abstract, then it will be introduction, then it will be literature review, then whatever technology you have been using for your own project that you have implemented or the thing that you are studying. Specifically the third year students, if they are preparing for third year seminars, at this moment of time they won't be doing, or they may not do any implementation. We do have very bright students even implementing the concept of the seminar as well. But if you're not implementing, at least you can go and put up your survey paper of the things that you have studied. So after the topic and technology, you'll be writing your algorithm or the process in details, and then you'll be giving it the comparison. Comparison and results is very important, because when you're giving the comparison, you are saying that I have done this much amount of literature survey. A, B and C papers are already working on this. What things are available in A, what things are available in B, what things are available in C, and what things are not available in A, B and C. That is what my paper is showing. My paper is giving those results out. So comparison with the existing papers is very, very important. If it is a novel idea, you can say that this idea is not currently available in the market, but then yes, some amount of work on that particular idea may also have been done previously. So you can just point out that this was the work done, and then these are the extensions that I'm doing. And obviously the applications, then the advantages and disadvantages. Again, you will be mentioning your conclusion and future work, and then you will be giving the references. So how all these comes? So as I told you, your topic must be concise, clear, precise, meaningful. Okay. Name of affiliation, let's say you're an SNJB student. So whatever, AAA, and then student, final year computer, SNJB College of Engineering. And then further, you can give your affiliations. Abstract, I told you, typically 200 words maximum. Every journal and every journal and every conference, they have their own limit to the number of words that you're putting in the abstract. Abstract is nothing but your standalone mini summary of your paper. अभी मैंने आपको क्या बोला, आप 10 papers पढ़ोगे. What are you going to read in all those 10 papers? You're going to read the abstract. You're going to read the conclusion. So what is abstract? It is actually nothing but it is the mini summary of the paper, and you have to write your abstract very, very properly in these 200 words or 300 words or whatever is the word limit given to you in that particular journal or conference. Then comes your introduction. Introduction is basically the start of the paper. We all know introduction part hai. Normally, it's better to have 4 paragraphs in your introduction. The first paragraph, you give the reason and you give the importance of the work. So why you have selected this? Why you went into the area of image processing? Why is CBIR important? Or why is data mining important? Why you have selected feature selection in data mining? जो भी आपने topic select किया है, why you are selecting that particular topic? You give the reason and you give the importance of it. Now, second and third will give the background of the problem. Now, what you are doing using CBIR, what is the project that you are implementing, how many projects are being previously implemented, and what is the connection of the existing projects to your project. So all these detailing will be given in the second and the third paragraph of your introduction. And the final paragraph will include your statement of purpose. आप क्या कर रहे हो? That will be exactly written in your fourth paragraph of your introduction. Last 4-5 lines of your introduction must be stating the organization of your paper. Organization of the paper means, matlab, next section includes this, further section includes this, fourth section includes this, and so on and so forth. I'll show you with an example also. So stating the organization of the paper. What comes next is your literature review, and the ones who are going in with research ideas, this literature review plays a major role. So if it is a research paper, I would suggest you to have a separate section of literature review, else you can merge up your literature review with your introduction section. So the next I told you is technology. Again, I told you technology, जो भी आप use कर रहे हो उसको आप precisely, clearly लिख लो कि आप ये technology क्यों use कर रहे हो. You just write down that maybe you're using, either you're using Python for implementation, or you're using some cloud-based, or you're using parallel processing है तो what you're using. So technology should be clearly mentioned. Now your algorithm. Next comes your algorithm in the paper. So you can give your algorithm either in the flowchart format, either you give it in the block diagram format, either you give it in the pseudocode format. So you can give your algorithm in any type that you are comfortable with. Only thing is it must be understood. It must be understood by the reviewers who are reviewing the papers. अब आप जब submit करोगे paper, तो every conference or every journal they may be single double review करते होंगे या single review करते होंगे. It depends on a blind review or non-blind review. Blind review in the sense, if it is double blind review, the author's name will not be available to the reviewers. So they'll be reviewing based on the contents that you are giving. So every journal has its own constraint, whether they are doing double blind review or single blind review or so on. So that will be mentioned in the journal details. Where you get those details also, I'll be telling you now. The next part is your results and discussions. In results and discussion, main important thing is you don't have to put forth your results as it is. You have to explain the analysis of the result. why these results are so, what do you predict from the graphs. And it's always better to give your results, either statistical results. So the results may be in the form of tables, or it may be in the type of graphs or diagrams. And obviously, whatever performance measures you're going to use, you have to put forth those performance measures and elaborate your result and discuss more on your results. The more you discuss more on your results in the paper elaborates, that the more work you have done. So you see that you are analyzing your results properly. Discussing the results in the paper is very important. The next part is the comparison. I told you before also that if you have similar algorithms or similar technologies which are already available, you take those technologies and whatever are the significant findings from the technologies and what new or prominent thing that your algorithm is doing, you have to show it with the comparison. And now these comparisons will be based on the results. Obviously, these comparisons are based on results, nothing like that. And obviously the conclusion and future work, इसमें मैंने आपको बोला है, you have to sum up. As I told you, हम सबसे पहले क्या पढ़ते हैं? Abstract पढ़ते हैं, introduction पढ़ते हैं और conclusion पढ़ते हैं. So conclusion is very important part. So see that you are summing up properly, you're giving proper reviews, and conclusion is followed by a little bit of discussions. And on a broader picture, there must be a little bit of difference into abstract and conclusion. Conclusion में हम लोगों ने ये सब किया हुआ है, that you have to show. Discussion will be also, you have to give the discussions on the recommendations for any future work that you have. And last part of your paper is the references. Now I'll give you certain examples also. So last part is your references. Every journal and every conference will tell you that give the references either in IEEE style or give in BIP text format. So there is a style guide which is available. In this style guide, it will show you that you have to use your references in what way. Okay, so now, as I told you, if you're a third year student, you can think of a survey paper. If you are a final year student, you can think of two papers. One can be your survey paper and one can be a paper which is being presented after your implementation. If I would have been given this seminar for a research scholar, then probably research scholars will give the survey paper at the end of the research when they have found out so many things. That is possible for a research candidate. But then, yes, at this moment of time, we can do it. So these are some of the papers. I'm taking my own papers, for example. This is a paper which is published in a free journal, and I will also tell you what is the importance of free journal later. So I'll just copy paste this link here on a separate tab, and I'll show you what is being given in this paper. Now this paper is it is available in NECS Press, and you can also find this paper on ResearchGate. Okay, so this is a paper which is, I'll just tell you a little bit of technical of this paper only in 2 minutes. When we were doing our research, I was doing my research in watermarking. I hope everybody knows what is watermarking. So हम जब research कर रहे थे watermarking में, तो we found out that no tool was available which was giving the attacked videos for testing. Okay, so it was nothing but it was a project that is to be implemented. So what we did is we designed one tool. Now this tool is readily available for the researchers. They can use their, I'll just tell you what is the input and output to this tool. So an input to the tool will be an video. Video देंगे हम हमारे tool को, हमारे software को, और ये वीडियो देने के बाद what the output the tool is going to give us, it's going to give us all attacked videos. और ये अटैक्ट वीडियोस हमें सारे टेस्टिंग के लिए लगते हैं. अब हम कौन सा अटैक कर सकते हैं वीडियो के ऊपर? सो ऑल सिग्नल प्रोसेसिंग अटैक्स लाइक ज्योमेट्रिक अटैक्स होंगे, या उसके ऊपर नॉइज अटैक होगा, या उसके ऊपर कोई एनहांसमेंट का अटैक होगा. यू नो, यू आर श्रिंकिंग द वीडियोस. Such attacks are available. So what we did is roughly around 27 attacks we took and we presented the output. अब मुझे आपको वो बताना नहीं है, मुझे आपको क्या बताना है कि पेपर कैसे लिखा हुआ है. ये प्रोजेक्ट के ऊपर, इस टूल के ऊपर हमने पेपर कैसे लिखा है. सो एज आई टोल्ड यू, Is my screen visible, madam? Can anyone tell me? I'm audible and visible, madam?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Yes,
So
ma'am,
हमने
it is
paper
visible.
कैसे लिखा है? Okay. So how we started? As I told you, I have written the abstract to this paper, and in this abstract, we have told that this is a particular tool which is available, and it will help in evaluating the robustness of video watermarking algorithms. यहाँ पे मैंने एक्सप्लेनेशन दे दिया. अभी हमने जो जर्नल लिया था, इट इज अ फ्री जर्नल, MECS जर्नल, एंड दिस जर्नल सेड दैट यू कैन यूज योर एब्स्ट्रैक्ट अप टू 300 words. So we made our abstract available in 300 words. As I told you, keywords are important. So here, instead of keywords, they had given in their template, it was called as index terms. So we gave index terms available here. Then we have written the introduction. When I'm writing the introduction, I have to use, in this particular journal, they told that I had to use an IEEE ka referencing style. IEEE referencing style is nothing but you use a curly, you use a square bracket and you mention the reference number that is being used. तो पहला वाला जो reference नीचे मेरे पेपर में है ना, वो 1 और 2 है. Always use increasing order, ascending order में आपको आपके references use करना है. ठीक है, तो अभी मैंने एक sentence यहाँ पे लिखा है, like for example, literature survey proposes a robust and fragile watermarking methods for resolving proof ownership problems. So ये सिर्फ मैं ही नहीं बोल रही हूँ. There are many people who have already said this, right? And who are those people? Those people are the ones which are mentioned in literature in reference number 1 and reference number 2. Copyright protection is a terminology that is being used. So that is already being explained in reference number 3 and reference number 4. So नीचे मैंने ये references दिए हैं. So यहाँ पे मैंने introduction में ही थोड़ा सा लिटरेचर रिव्यू लिया है, एकदम बेस के ऊपर का. बट सिंस इट वाज अ रिसर्च पेपर, वी थॉट ऑफ गिविंग अ सेपरेट सेक्शन फॉर द लिटरेचर सर्वे, जो स्पेसिफिक हम सर्वे हमारे टूल्स से रिलेटेड है. अब वाटर मार्किंग से जो भी रिलेटेड होगा उसका इंट्रोडक्शन मैंने ऊपर दे दिया, एंड देन वट एवर लिटरेचर सर्वे रिलेटेड टू दिस टूल इज अवेलेबल, that I gave here in the literature survey. So again, these are the references which are available. So along with our tool, there were 2-3 more tools that were available, and then we went along. अब मैंने आपको बताया कि आगे के सेक्शन क्या होंगे, कि आप पूरा इंट्रोडक्शन के बाद में मैंने बोला था आप आपके फीचर्स और आपके डिजाइन या आपका जो भी प्रोजेक्ट है उसके ऊपर आप बोलना शुरू करोगे, आप लिखना शुरू करोगे. सो देन वी स्टार्टेड विद द फीचर्स ऑफ VisiMark. In this features of VisiMark, we said that these many video category attacks were available. अब मैंने ये मेरा algorithm different terms में explain करना शुरू कर दिया. So what attacks were possible? Frame swapping was possible. Changing the sequence of the scenes in the video was possible. Interframe rate was possible. Motion blurring was possible, and so many things were possible. ठीक है. So cropping किया तो उसका हमें cropped video मिलता है. Rotation attack, contrast stretching, and so many. So I've just given in detail of whatever is being implemented in our paper, in our tool that we designed. तो वहाँ इम्प्लीमेंटेशन लिख लिया. इसके साथ में हमने क्या किया कि जो भी अटैक्स थे हमने उसको 3 कैटेगरी में कर दिया. नॉर्मल अटैक्स में कर दिया, सिग्नल प्रोसेसिंग में कर दिया, एंड देन ज्योमेट्रिक अटैक्स की कैटेगरी अलग कर दी, एंड देन वी प्रेजेंटेड इन डिफरेंट कैटेगरीज. सो जो भी आपका प्रोजेक्ट होगा उसके फीचर्स आपको खुद को पता होंगे, है ना. सो व्हाट यू डू इज यू टेक दोस फीचर्स एंड यू एक्सप्लेन योर डिटेल फीचर्स इन दिस सेक्शन. This section is very, very, very important. Then you start explaining your implementation. First, we created the base, then we started the implementation. As I told you, implementation you can show either in the form of algorithm, either in the form of block diagram, either in the form of pseudocode, whatever suits you. अगर आपका बहुत अच्छा GUI है and you wish you also want to show the GUI of your project in the paper, you can show it with a simple diagram and you can show that this is the GUI of my paper. हमें क्या बताना है, हमें स्पेसिफिकेशन और सिस्टम रिक्वायरमेंट्स भी क्लियरली इंडिकेट करने हैं कि हमारे पेपर में ये स्पेसिफिकेशंस, हमारे इम्प्लीमेंटेशन में वी हैव यूज्ड ऑल दी स्पेसिफिकेशन. नाउ one more important thing is, when we are giving out our results, we need to show our results with evaluation parameters. Evaluation parameters जिसको हम performance measures भी बोलते हैं. Why performance measures are important? Because performance measures will tell us how our algorithm or how our logic or how our tool is better than others. So हमारे इसमें performance tools जो थे, that was mean square error, MSE, PSNR, since it was related to image processing, it was delta, and so on so forth. ठीक है? And then we presented the results. So we have just taken one frame out of the video and we presented out the results here. So experimental results we had shown with certain diagrams. We had shown with certain graphs. ये हमारे results हैं. So we showed it with some graphs. We showed it with some images. And now this is the very important part. Okay, you will show your graphs, you will show your images, and then you will show your comparison. मैंने आपको बोला ना, comparison बहुत important है. So when we were designing our tool, which we named it as VisiMark, there were 3 more tools available, and ये 3 tools में हमें कुछ चीजें नहीं मिलती थी जो हमें हमारे रिसर्च के लिए चाहिए थी. So then we just found those out, that these things were not available in Stirmark, Optimark, or Checkmark, but then yes, we made it available in VisiMark. So then this tool gets a weightage for, selection of this paper gets a weightage, because so many things which are not available, like for example, rotation and scaling, it is available everywhere, and we have also given it, fine. But for example, rotation cropping, it is not available in this tool, but it is available here. So okay, we have done an addition to it, है ना? So this thing is very important. Such type of comparison table where you're showing that your paper, your work that you're doing is giving something extra than the available thing, then you can say that yes, there are major chances of getting your paper selected. So this was just we had prepared a very big report, after this tool was being done, and that report was of 25 pages or so. So we just gave a snapshot of the report, and the last part was the conclusion. अभी आप देखो यहाँ पे हमने फ्यूचर स्कोप यहाँ पे दिया ही नहीं है पेपर में, है ना? तो आपको कैसे पेपर सिलेक्ट करना है? जहां पे कुछ फ्यूचर स्कोप हो. अभी कोई ऑथर्स रहते हैं, दे डोंट गिव द फ्यूचर स्कोप इन द पेपर, बट देन what is available in the paper, that is clearly mentioned in the conclusion part. So you read this conclusion properly, check if any future area is available to you. जो भी existing papers है उनको आप पढ़ोगे, तो अगर आपको existing areas मिलते हैं, then that becomes your own paper for implementation. And after that, this template wanted some acknowledgements. So acknowledgement section हर paper या हर conference में होगा ही, ऐसे नहीं है. So in this particular template, acknowledgement was available. So we have put an acknowledgement part. Now for students who are specially doing the sponsorship project, who are getting some fundings on the project, ऐसे अगर आपके पास projects हैं, तो you can put the acknowledgements here on the funding agency who's giving you fundings, or you can give the acknowledgements of the company name, wherever you're doing the sponsorship project, and obviously that will put a weightage on the paper. अब लास्ट सेक्शन था हमारा रेफरेंसेस. मैंने आपको बताया था, ये वाले पेपर ने, MECS जर्नल ने हम लोगों को जब टेम्पलेट दिया, तो दे टोल्ड अस दैट यू हैव टू यूज द IEEE स्टाइल. सो दिस इज द IEEE स्टाइल ऑफ राइटिंग द रेफरेंसेस. ये जो 1 है ना, 1 2 3, these 1 2 and 3 आर गिवन इन द पेपर. जो मैंने आपको ऊपर बताया कि 1 2 3 रेफरेंसेस ऐसे हम लिखते हैं, इस पेपर में लिखा है, देखो 1 2 3, है ना? सो दिस इज हाउ यू हैव टू write your paper if it is a research paper. If I get some acknowledgement from the student that yes, things are going on well and they are understanding, I can continue further. Is it okay, dear students?
Yes, ma'am.
So, at least some of the yeses will make me work. Yeah, okay. So this was the first paper. As I told you, it was a research paper. तो अगर आपका project का है, now third year students, if they are, with their seminars, they will say, what now, how are we going to write the paper, and so on and so forth. So what I did is I took again one of my paper, which is a bit easier survey paper, and I'll just show you, I'll copy paste this link again in a different box, or maybe in the same different tab. I'll just paste this. It's available online, you can just check. So this is one of the paper, and we have published it in an open access journal, which is a UGC sanctioned journal. I'll also give you a link of that. And this is a normal survey paper, and I'll tell you also the reason, why I did with this paper. Normally your parents will agree with me, probably you may not agree, but I have a son and he keeps on watching videos, and he is more on the screen. So I just wanted to know how much this screen time is affecting the eyes of an individual. ठीक है, तो ये सिर्फ मुझे अभी, ये तो वेरी जनरल प्रॉब्लम है ना, कि मुझे देखना था कि व्हाट इज द इफेक्ट ऑफ द स्क्रीन. थियोरेटिकली वी ऑल नो दैट यस द स्क्रीन टाइम ज्यादा होगा तो हमें चश्मा लग जाएगा एंड सो ऑन सो फोर्थ. बट देन आई जस्ट वांटेड टू डू अ सर्वे. सो व्हाट वी डिड इज we just found out the health of the eyes. What we did is we prepared a Google form. उसके पहले मुझे क्या करना पड़ा होगा? I wanted to search some of the papers which are working on these. So I studied some of the papers which were working on computer vision syndrome, repetitive strain injuries, carpal tunnel syndrome, internet social media addiction. These are all the possible things that are happening to the eyes because of excessive use of screen. ठीक है, तो हमने क्या किया, वी क्रिएटेड अ गूगल फॉर्म एंड दिस गूगल फॉर्म हैड ऑल दीज पैरामीटर्स एलैबोरेटेड. और ये जो भी है ना, कंप्यूटर विजन का सिंड्रोम है या रिपीटेटिव स्ट्रेन है, ये क्या होता है, ऐसा हमने वो गूगल फॉर्म में एक्सप्लेन करके लिखा. एंड वी जस्ट ओपन दिस टू एंटायर community. So we had responses from around hundreds of people, or 200 or 400 normally. और जो हमें डेटा मिला ना फॉर्म में, वो डेटा का हमने एनालिसिस किया कि वो लोगों के ऊपर ये स्क्रीन ज्यादा यूज करने का क्या इम्पैक्ट हुआ है. ठीक है, so this was the background of the paper. Now again, that is not the thing that we are learning. We are learning is how to write a survey paper. So this is how we did the survey. Now in the survey paper what we did is, as I told you, अब इनका जो टेम्पलेट था ना, उन लोगों ने हमें सिर्फ 100 वर्ड्स या ऐसा कुछ दिया था कि इतने में ही आपने आपका एब्स्ट्रैक्ट लिखना है. So in that template we have put forth our abstract and we included the keywords as well. तो जहां भी कार्पल टनल आएगा, या जहां भी हेल्थ हजार्ड वर्ड आएगा, या जहां भी आईज के सिंड्रोम आएंगे, then our paper will go into search. ठीक है, so I introduced, we wrote abstract, then we wrote the keywords. मैंने जैसे आपको बोला next section was introduction. तो इंट्रोडक्शन में लिख दिया कि what are, because of the working conditions, because of the individuals, the health of eyes is important and therefore we want to do the survey. Then what all people are saying, जहाँ पे भी ये normal research हो रहा है, वो सारी चीजें यहाँ पे इंट्रोडक्शन में लिख दिया. Then we started with literature survey. We wanted to focus more on the literature survey, so we focused on literature survey and where all research was going on. So then we gave certain references also, कि reference number 2 में इस चीज का, ये paper का already उन्होंने बताया हुआ है, and some research is going on this paper also. And then we keep on writing all the introduction part, literature survey part. So if you see in this, we have written particularly कि one reference में क्या बताया है. If you see properly, reference number 2 में क्या बताया है, then reference number 3 में क्या बताया है, then reference number 4 में क्या बताया है, if you see here, then reference number 5 में, and so on so forth. So after this, which is very important, is when you do your literature survey, you have to find out some conclusions from the study. So these were following conclusions were drawn from the study, from the literature study. फिर मैंने क्या किया, अभी आप थर्ड ईयर के सेमिनार में कोई टॉपिक लोगे, राइट? सो वो टॉपिक के जब आप 10 पेपर्स पढ़ोगे, 10 पेपर्स को पढ़ने के बाद में आप कुछ कंक्लूजन्स लेके आओगे, दैट यू कैन राइट डाउन हियर एज योर कंक्लूजन पार्ट. सो दीज आर द फॉलोइंग कंक्लूजन्स दैट वर ड्रॉन फ्रॉम द पेपर. अब उसके बाद मैंने आपको बताया कि वंस द लिटरेचर पार्ट इज गोइंग ऑन, तो अगर मेरा प्रोजेक्ट बेस्ड पेपर है तो मैं क्या शुरू करती हूँ, वट एवर इज माई डायग्राम, वट एवर इज माई एल्गोरिथम, वट एवर इज द बैकग्राउंड फॉर द वर्क दैट आई एम डूइंग, आई स्टार्ट एक्सप्लेनिंग ऑल दैट इन माई पेपर. But now here I have not implemented anything, right? Here we are already studying from the people, we are doing a survey of the things that are available. So यहाँ पे क्या कि किस किस चीज का सर्वे किया है, तो कंप्यूटर विजन सिंड्रोम का सर्वे किया है. सो आई राइट डाउन समथिंग अबाउट कंप्यूटर विजन सिंड्रोम. ठीक है, और किस चीज का सर्वे किया है, तो रिपीटेटिव स्ट्रेन इंजरी का सर्वे किया है. सो आई राइट डाउन सम मोर थिंग्स, रिपीटेटिव इंजरी का, कार्पल टनल सिंड्रोम का सर्वे किया है. सो वी राइट मोर समथिंग ऑन इट, and then this becomes our next section, which is elaborating on all the symptoms of CTS or signs of social media addiction or so on so forth. ये सारी चीजें हमने एक सेक्शन में लिख दिया, सेक्शन नंबर 3, 4 एंड 5. अब मुझे रिजल्ट्स का सेक्शन, मैंने आपको बताया कि हमने एक सर्वे किया था, है ना, वी टुक वन गूगल फॉर्म एंड वी टुक ओपिनियंस ऑफ द पीपल. सो वो ओपिनियंस के हिसाब से हमें कुछ रिजल्ट्स एंड डिस्कशन मिल गए कि लोगों को क्या हुआ है. तो हमने रफली अभी एज लिमिट 15 to 25 का सेपरेट किया, देन वी एज वाइज वी सेपरेटेड आउट, एंड देन what were they, like these many were using the electronic gadgets, these many have started, their eyes started blinking when they were working, these many were wearing spectacles, and these many had symptoms of some computer vision. ऐसा हमने सारा किसको क्या सिम्टम था, किसको स्ट्रेस की वजह से क्या हो रहा था, किसको क्या हो रहा था, वी जस्ट पुट इट ऑन द रिजल्ट हियर बेस्ड ऑन द सर्वे दैट वाज टेकन. अब ये सर्वे जब हमने किया ना, तो what conclusions we took out from this paper was, so after the surveys we put out some graph, and then we said that the result of the study proved that pain in the neck, shoulder, upper and lower back, waist, legs and joints, etc., whatever, and then we concluded. So we conclude that symptoms of computer vision syndrome, repetitive this and this, is noticeable in the age group 26 to 40 years, those who were using the gadgets continuously. ये हमने हमारे सर्वे के ऊपर से लाया है. ये किसी ने बताया क्या? हमें नहीं बताया. But we took the data from the people. They gave certain inputs. We had a form available of 400, 500 people available with us. We took all that data, and this is a survey which is being done. So this type of survey paper also you can write down. This is one part, है ना, कि इस तरीके का आप थर्ड ईयर में सर्वे पेपर कुछ बना सकते हो. Then again, as I told you, references, here references हो गए. There is one more type of survey paper which you can write down in third year, and I'll tell you how it is being written. Again, I'll take an example of my own paper only. So it's always better to show our own paper. So this is one more paper that I'm selecting. I'll again paste the link in the next tab and I'll show it to you. So this is one more paper. अभी ये जो पेपर है ना, it's a research का survey paper. So in this research survey paper, since it was again based on watermarking, my research was on watermarking. So since this paper, what we did is, अब watermarking में मुझे क्या है कि technical जब हम survey करते हैं ना, तो टेक्निकल सर्वे में किन किन लोगों ने कौन से टेक्निक्स लिए हुए हैं, दैट आई हैव टू चेक आउट, एंड देन आई हैव टू पुट ऑन माय सर्वे पेपर technical aspects of the survey paper. So in this, what we did is we found out how many robust video watermarking algorithms were available. Now, when I design my own algorithm, that becomes my one research paper, because I have designed my own algorithm and it is working. तो ये मेरा project type का हो गया, right? So that becomes my own paper. तो ऐसे लोगों के अलग-अलग algorithms के ऊपर अलग-अलग papers available हैं. Okay, so in this paper I have taken mostly I just don't remember 5 or 6 papers मैंने लिए हैं और उनका मैंने सर्वे करके एनालिसिस किया हुआ है. Okay, so as I told you, the first section will be the title, second section will be the affiliation, the third section will be the abstract. Now they gave us a word limit for the abstract, so what I have written the word limits here. Again, as I told you, keywords are important, और फिर introduction में मैंने उसका सारा base लिख दिया. Now it's a survey paper, so obviously second part से मुझे वो चीज के बारे में एक्सप्लेन करना शुरू करना पड़ेगा. So what I did is I started with important aspects of video watermarking. क्या क्या important aspects है, what I have started studying, और यहाँ मैं हर जगह पे रेफरेंस देना शुरू कर दूंगी. कहाँ कहाँ एप्लीकेशंस है वीडियो वाटरमार्किंग के, वो मैंने लिख दिए. कॉमन अटैक्स कौन से होते हैं वाटरमार्किंग में, वो लिख दिए. एंड नाउ आई हैव स्टार्टेड माय सर्वे बेसिकली ऑन ऑल द टेक्निक्स ऑफ वीडियो वाटरमार्किंग. सो the first technique was spread spectrum technique. So this is my first paper. I given in reference number 32. तो ये पेपर में क्या दिया हुआ है वो पूरा समझ के, now I'm not explaining all the mathematical terminologies and all here, but whatever was given in that paper, I elaborated it in my own words. I understood the paper. I even gave the reference of the paper, and I wrote about that paper as the first technique. That is the scheme number 1. Similarly, I took another paper and I explained scheme number 2. I also gave the reference that it is available in reference number 33, और उन्होंने क्या explain किया है watermarking technique के बारे में. Similarly, their embedding algorithm and all explained in detail. Similarly, I took a third technique, that this was a technique, DCT based technique, scheme number 3. I gave a reference of the paper and then I explained what is available in DCT. Similarly, a DWT domain technique, scheme number 4. I took one more paper and I explained it in my own words. Whatever उन्होंने, उनका पेपर 30 पेजेस का होगा, लेट्स से 20 पेजेस का होगा या 15 पेजेस का होगा. We took out the summary of that paper, we understood that paper and we wrote it down in our own words when we were understanding the paper. and then we wrote it in our new paper. And the fifth technique which explained was the PCA based video watermarking. अब ये 5 टेक्निक्स मैंने एक्सप्लेन कर दी, उसका रेफरेंस नंबर भी दे दिया कि रेफरेंस नंबर 48 में इन्होंने ये वाली टेक्निक यूज की है, रेफरेंस नंबर 38 में इन्होंने ये वाली टेक्निक यूज की है, एंड देन वी एक्सप्लेन्ड इट. नाउ व्हाट वाज इंपॉर्टेंट इज this part. What we did in this part is we just found out the major things in the paper. So let's say scheme number 1 का domain क्या था? Spread spectrum. उसका category of watermark जो भी embed कर रहा था वो कैसे watermark था, whether it was invisible or visible, whether what was the cover scheme, where exactly the watermark was being embedded, was any pre-processing done for the watermark, were any frames selected, were was it robust to, and if it was, this algorithm was robust, it was robust to how many attacks, and whether the recovery of the watermark was possible or not. So ये जो चीजें हैं ना, this will be specific to your topic that you are selecting. ये आप जो पढ़ रहे हो ना उस चीज से स्पेसिफिक होंगे. So आपको फीचर्स निकालना पड़ेगा कि मैं क्या, what is the topic that I am selecting and what are the different points that I can use in my survey paper. If you present this out in your survey paper, then you can give the conclusion here. In the conclusion part, you can write down, in this paper, we have revised the various video watermarking algorithms that are available. New approaches are expected to come and they may merge with the existing things and so many things, whatever we have written here. So this can be your conclusion part. And then you can mention your references. So this is the way that you write your survey paper. है ना? तो अभी let's keep a target that when we are doing our engineering, on an average, no, I'm speaking for a normal computer graduate engineer coming out with flying colors with a minimum of first class or so. तो इन लोगों को minimum 3 papers तो publish करने ही चाहिए. Apart from them, we really have students who have copyrights and patents from first year onwards. So this lecture may be a help to them also probably. But copyrights and patents is not the scope in this webinar, so I'm not including all those parts here. Only the parts that are required is being used here. So these were some of the papers that I could explain you with examples that you can have your paper written in this way. Now, the third part is you have written your paper. अब लिख तो लिया, आप कहाँ publish करोगे आप? So paper publication is also an important aspect, है ना? So first you saw how the paper was selected. The flow went on like this, that the paper was selected. Then after selecting the paper, you found out, you read the paper, you made 10 papers, उनका conclusion किया, लिख लिया, topic select किया, paper implement कर लिया, paper लिख लिया, किस तरीके से लिखना है, you wrote down everything, abstract, introduction, all those things are written down. Now comes the thing is paper publication. So what you're going to have in paper publication. Now you have to search the conferences that are available. So आप कैसे search करोगे conferences that are available? These are some of the links. So अभी ना many of the conferences, I'll take random one link from here. So many of the conferences, what they do is they ask you to submit a paper from EasyChair. EasyChair है या Microsoft का CMT है. These are the software tools where you should have your login and you have to submit your paper through these logins. So कोई भी नई conferences आएगी, अगर वो जब मैं नई conference अगर organize कर रही हूँ ना, तो what I do is, and if that submission is through EasyChair, so what I'll do is I'll register my conference in EasyChair. So how many conferences are registered in EasyChair? That is one link that I'll give you out here. So this is the link. I specifically gave the link for India to let us know. Here we have the choice that you want to have the conferences where you want to check by country, or you want to check by area, or you want to check by topics, or any random, है ना? तो मैंने अभी फिलहाल इंडिया का check दिया है ये link के ऊपर, and I'll check out how many conferences are available right now at the moment in India where I can submit my paper. मैं कहाँ डाल सकती हूँ? So let's say I have one conference, modern approaches in engineering, ये लखनऊ में है. Some conference ICC conference है, it's an international conference on AI and cloud computing. So let's click on this because this sounds something which is near to our area. Okay, so then it will go on that particular page और यहाँ पे अब मुझे सारे details पता चलेंगे कि ये conference की website की link दी हुई है. This conference is in Hyderabad. This is the date of the conference. Submission deadline is this. कोई conference क्या करता है, they ask you to submit the abstract before. So initially you'll be submitting your abstract, then you'll be submitting your paper. So the last date for submission of your abstract is Feb 1. So see students, you can just work out for 2 days and send an abstract to this conference probably, you know. Then submission deadline. I'm not promoting any conferences here, okay? I've just clicked a random conference and I'm just giving you an example of the conferences. There are many more which you can look into. So then abstract registration done, submission deadline done. This is also given. And what are the things that are allowed for this conferences is given here. AI, cloud computing, computer network, signal processing, and so on. Then AI track, all the topics are given. Then cloud computing track, everything is given, and so on. Also, what is important is the link of the conference. So you click on the link of the conference, and then what you find is the major detailing of the conference. So यहाँ पे आपको सब मिलेगा, important dates मिलेंगे, यहाँ पे आपको program का, यहाँ one important thing is available here which is called as the author guideline. तो ये author guideline में वो आपको बताएंगे कि ये conference किस चीज के लिए है, and then they will tell you how you have to write the paper, the tracks that are available. The author guidelines are given, acceptance कब होने वाला है, final submission कब है, submission link क्या है, paper template कैसा होगा, you can download this template and you can write your paper in this particular template. So this is one example of a particular conference which is available in EasyChair, है ना. तो ऐसे ही मैंने बहुत सारी लिंक्स दी हुई है where IEEE conferences are available, upcoming conferences of ACM are available, upcoming conference in the computer area are available. There is one thing which is called as conference alerts. So if you are interested in the upcoming conference, you set your conference alert for yourself and it will give you a pop-up always that these new conferences are coming up. So you can just have those links. You can get those links from Madhuri ma'am. I'll be sharing my presentation with her. So you can take it from her. So this is the part if you want to publish your paper in a conference. Second thing is you want to publish your paper in a journal. So I have given some journal links also available here. You can publish your paper in such journals as well. So I will not be promoting any journal name or so, but the first link that I have shown here is the journal link of Web of Science or Scopus based journals. So if you click on this link, you will get a page. I'll not go into because time is, abhi mujhe 1 घंटा दिया था ना, so time is just getting over. So I'll not go on the link and show you the things further, but then you can go on this page, and then on this page you'll find a PDF, and this PDF is roughly around 40 pages or so, and in those 40 pages how many journals are available in which particular area, ये सब आपको मिल जाएगा यहाँ पे. Also university says that UGC approved journals are okay, so you can also see the journals that are available on the UGC website. So just to give you a brief, एक ही मैं आपको click करके बताती हूँ before I end up my seminar. So I'll just show you what all things are available on the UGC website. So if you click on these links, you have download fully Scopus journal list, download fully PubMed journal, download UGC approved journal. So you can just download the list of the journals. आपको list मिल जाएगी. List मिलने के बाद भी वो journals का detailing उनके home page पे जाने के बाद you will get those journals. ठीक है? So there you can publish your paper. Remember students, what is very important is I've given a random date here, but whenever really you want to do something, you have to have some targets and deadlines set for your own self. Unless and until you set your targets and deadlines for your own self, things won't work out. So topic finalization ka date, abstract ka date, implementation ka date, paper writing ka date, submission ka date. You look at the conference, you make a target that this is going to be my conference where I'm submitting my paper, or this is the journal, and then this is the deadline of the journal or the conference, and then do reverse engineering and say, okay, yes, so this is the time I should get along working. Remember one very, very important thing. Either you're doing seminars or you're doing projects. The core values play a very important role. So when you're selecting a topic, please see that at least somewhere down the lane, it may contribute to national development. It may foster some global competencies. Always a value system is very important. So if it is inculcating a value system, nothing like that. you must promote the use of technology, and you must have the quest for excellence. Either you're doing your seminars or you're doing your projects, that quest for excellence matters a lot. तो आपको हमेशा ये feeling होनी चाहिए कि yes, we want to be excellent, we want to excel, we want to go ahead. So quest for excellence is important. Commitment for competency building is very important. Unless and until you are committed to yourself, you won't come out with the thing. Integrity is important. Some innovation is of course required when you're doing new things, and when you're learning more, when you're studying more, when you're doing more surveys, when you're reading more research topics. Obviously some innovation is going to happen, and it would be very nice if there is some societal relevance to the topic that you're using. So normally, again, a personal opinion, I would suggest that if you have your projects which is having certain societal relevance, nothing like that. So you can have your projects in all the domains. Of course, this was my own opinion कि अगर उसका societal relevance है तो बहुत अच्छा होता है. Now, when you're publishing your paper, quality of the publication is very important. So you don't have to copy paste your contents from anywhere. You have to write it on your own words. There should be no copy pasted contents in your paper. That goes on the globe, and there may be certain cases also against you, है ना? So it's always better to write your own words, write your own sentences, make your own things and write it down. No copy paste of the content. It's of course good if you have some innovative idea that is being implemented. Prefer standard journals for publication. Have research findings. You prominently note all the research findings. और जब भी आप पेपर लिखते हो ना, तो उसका प्लेगियरिज्म टेस्टिंग करना बहुत बहुत जरूरी है. So ensure you're doing your plagiarism testing. Turnitin is a standard software which is used for plagiarism testing, and most of the colleges purchase it. Again, I repeat, so colleges जहाँ पे research center होते हैं ना, वहाँ पे ये सारी चीजें purchased होती है. तो well enough, अगर आपके college में नहीं है या है, whatever, it hardly matters, because many software tools are also available for checking the plagiarism contents. So some of the tools here I have written in the blue link. If you can see, small SE tools are available. Dupli checker is available. है ना? I think I have repeated this Dupli checker here. So that is plagiarisma.net. ऐसी भी एक साइट है जो आप जहां जाके लिख सकते हो. And also those students who are in third year, I would ask you to find if any sponsored projects are available, because sponsored projects, when you write in your acknowledgement sections, when you actually work for the projects that are in the industry itself, that really carries weightage. So those who are in third year, I can say that you can check in for the sponsored projects as well. So that's what I had from my end. There are many more things that are left out, but I only focused on, like it was only for research or it was only for paper publication. I focused only on the paper publication part, and whatever I could put out from my end, I've just given it to you. So the forum is open for discussions if you have any, the questions if you have any.
Dear student, if you have any questions, please ask to ma'am. Ma'am, very nice and wonderful session, ma'am. Geeta ma'am.
Thank you, madam. Thank you, ma'am.
Very nice session, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. The students must ask questions, so then it reaches the students. That is important. So I want many of the students coming up and asking the questions. Probably, I don't think ma'am, somehow the chat box is not visible to me. So, अगर कोई chat box में question डालता है, तो can you please tell me?
Yes, ma'am. Please, student, if you have a question, please ask. Otherwise, you can write on chat box also. Hello.
Yes, ma'am.
Neha, Nikhil, Rakesh, Bhakti. If you have a question, please ask to ma'am. Harshali, Sharmila. Hello.
At least you can write in chat box whether the session was, okay, and you could understand something from the session.
मैम स्टूडेंट ने एक्चुअली फीडबैक जो भी फीडबैक था ना, उसके ऊपर जो ये रहता है ना, नोट या उसकी कमेंट, वहां पर अच्छे कमेंट लिखे और वहां पर क्वेश्चन लिखे, लेकिन ये वहां पर यहाँ पर नहीं पूछ रहे क्वेश्चंस.
Okay, so you can forward me the questions then, no problem. I'll answer.
हाँ, yes ma'am. Just a minute, ma'am. Sir, ma'am, some student asked to suggest some topic for last year project.
Okay, so as I told you, topics cannot be suggested. You have to identify your area, and you identify your area. Let's say it is data mining. Go on GitHub, go on HackerRank, and see what your students, what your age students are doing. Then there are also many project areas that are available. तो वो प्रोजेक्ट एरियाज आप देखो, उसमें से आपको क्या समझ में आता है, so then you can think on your own area based on that.
Or next question, which are the best journal to publish the paper?
I gave you the link. The UGC journals are available and a list of journals is available. So as I told you, I cannot promote any journal here as it is YouTube live. So I cannot say, but yes, all Scopus based journals and all Web of Science based journals, they are very good. You can use, and और journals जो है ना वो आपके area के होते हैं. जैसे for example, if it is AI, there are journals of AI available. There are journals of mining available. There are journals of information retrieval available. There are journals of image processing available. Journals of computer vision available. अगर आपका research का component है, तो we ensure that we put our paper into that research journal only. So any particular journal के ऊपर comment नहीं कर सकते यहाँ पे, right? All journals are good. The list is available. You can select any journal and go ahead.
Okay, okay मैम. आई थिंक स्टूडेंट के सब क्वेश्चन का आंसर आपने आपके प्रेजेंटेशन में दे दिए, इसीलिए सब स्टूडेंट अभी फीडबैक में तो ऐसे लिखा है कि नाइस सेशन, एक्सेलेंट सेशन.
Okay.
और सो ओके मैम.
ठीक है. Yes. Okay.
Just a minute, ma'am.
Yes.
So we are very much thankful to Dr. Neeta Deshpande, ma'am. So as she has guided us about how we can write a paper from scratch, she has given very minute details like different links, how to give references, the importance of each heading in paper, etc. So I assure ma'am that we will definitely follow the tips you have given, and the student will publish the paper definitely. So we are really benefit from your session, ma'am. So thank you very much, ma'am, for your valuable time.
Thank you so much for calling.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Just a minute. I express my sincere thanks to our HOD, Dr. M.R. Sanghvi sir, and our principal, Dr. M.D. Kokate sir, and management, who has given permission to organize such a informative event. Okay, so dear student, hope all of you given attendance and feedback. So thank you all of you. So dear, here I declare the session is over. So thank you, ma'am. Thank you, Rajna.
Thank you.
Thank you, Bhavna, ma'am. Thank you all of IT and computer department staff and all dear students. Thank you very much.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. So here our session is over.